Thank you. There's a few things in the background that, as life is disheveled, so is my apartment. So this is a great feature on Zoom that you can just forget about that and focus right here. Just right here.
Just right on your gorgeousness.
Thank you.
So we just played
Aguilar.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chris. I'm the brain is
Pete
just,
Aguilar.
Yes.
Hey, it is a team effort. Always a team effort.
It is. And I was telling these guys earlier, I didn't get to bed until like 10:30 last night. And I got up at 3. So I'm like, eyes are crossing. I've had as much caffeine as Coca-Cola will give me and coffee. So, yeah, I mean, he was talking about the pardons that he's dangling now. But apparently he asked advisors whether he should give blanket pardons to the rioters before he left office. This is new
Not
reporting.
even knowing who was going to get arrested,
Yeah.
which is part of the problem.
Yeah. He said he made 3 calls to one advisor to discuss the idea. Do you think I should pardon them? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think I have the power to do it? And he said, is it everybody that had a Trump sign or everybody who walked into the Capitol? And then he continued, some people think I should pardon them. And he thought if he could do it, these people would never have to testify or be deposed, which lawyers call us. Just because you're pardoned doesn't preclude you from testifying.
Part of accepting
It
a pardon is an
actually
admission of guilt.
Should make you
Exactly. And you're not allowed to take the fifth after that
Right.
anymore. Otherwise, you lose the
you're
right.
right. So I've always wondered why a pardon would preclude somebody going, yeah, well, no, he ordered us to it, and now he pardoned me. Yay. I'm free. He gets to it. I guess he figures if he pardons you, then you owe him. I guess that's where the
That is
thinking.
exactly, I'm assuming, what it is. Yes. Also, it really sure sounds like an admittance of guilt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of like putting this whole thing together. Let me just make sure my people don't go to jail. Anyone holding a Trump sign.
Well, and that's what's funny, because remember, it was then Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and then FBI infiltrating it. So it's like, who is he actually pardoning? Is he admitting now that these were his supporters?
Sounds like it to me.
He cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And this is my favorite too. He's again slamming the Capitol police officer who shot Ashley Babbitt. He said, with the exception of one young fine woman, nobody died on January 6th. Nobody died on January 6th. Like they like to say 5 people, but nobody died.
We do have the audio of that.
Oh, do you? Yes,
we
let's
do.
play that.
We're trying to rewrite history
It's
here.
number
Clip
it's 20.
20. You got it. Here we go.
Thank you.
With the exception of one young, fine woman, nobody died on January 6th. Nobody died on January 6th. They like to say 5 people, but nobody died on January 6th.
Nobody was intentionally killed.
The one person who died was Ashley Babbitt. She was killed by a ruthless man that never should have used his gun to shoot her. She was killed.
And he's a hero to the left. That cop is a hero.
I think it's a disgrace. And in fact, they wanted to shield him, but he couldn't get on television fast enough. I saw his interview. And he thinks it was great that he shot her and killed her. And she didn't have a gun. She didn't have anything. There was no reason to do that. It's a disgrace. But she was the person that died.
It is so hard for me not to curse on this show.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just one of those things. And then you want to be, sarcastic and be like, well, she should have complied.
She should have.
Maybe she should have complied.
She should have.
And you know what? The people that died following
him
January 6th from the injuries sustained at the Capitol, including a police officer who was beaten to death with a flagpole.
All right.
I can't. It's infuriating.
Also, the subject of Emma Mohideen's podcast, a woman who was trampled by Trump supporters while wearing a Don't Tread on Me flag.
Not to mention the police officers who have committed suicide since then because of the damage, the psychological damage and physical damage that they incurred in the Capitol that day. It just makes my blood boil. So it's so hard because I know we need to play these clips, but like repeating these lies of his, especially those, it just makes my brain explode.
Well, it was interesting because the interviewer tried to get him back on the truth by saying, well, nobody was intentionally killed besides Babbitt because 4 other people died that day. And like the woman that was tread upon. And they were all under his orders too. And it's like, and the Ashley Babbitt was
lunging through that window.
She was going, and she knew better. She was trained. She knew what she was doing.
Exactly.
And she was warned, don't do this. Don't do. They warned these people, don't do it. And she didn't comply. As everybody said, well, if you just do what they say, you won't get hurt. So it's just, and him saying that Officer Byrd rushed to the cameras, it was months before we knew who this cop was.
He was horrified that he shot
of course he
another
was.
human being. And no cop is proud that they have to take and pull their gun. There's no officer. I can't imagine there being an officer that would go to a camera, go to a press conference and be like, yep, sure glad that happened. It changes a person. I can only imagine as a civilian, it changes a person no matter how it happens. No matter, even the bad cops, it has to change a person.
It does, and he knew, she certainly wasn't waving a gun, but she was pounding the window. They broke the window. I remember hearing they warned her all of them several times, and so unfortunately she didn't listen, and that's on Donald as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. He's the one that got everyone there.
She is
a vehement Trump supporter. You can look at all of her social media. She was way down that rabbit hole.
She definitely was. I hope that some of these people come out of it. I mean, some people still support Nixon, so I mean, we have hope that some of them will come out of it. One of these days. Roger Stone coming to mind, with his nice tattoo.
Right.
That'll look good in prison when he finally does go.
Yeah.
So Lynn Wood, who has the worst name ever. It's a nice porn name. He wants the Supreme Court to overturn the Georgia runoff elections now. This is fun. They've been in office 378 days.
Yeah, for over a year.
Yeah. He wants the Supreme Court to reopen the case, asking to declare the election invalid, potentially giving control to McConnell, which, by the way, we do have a Democratic senator that is recovering from a stroke right now.
Yes.
Please stay healthy. I want everybody to stay healthy, but this is for the country. Please stay healthy. So he wrote a 106-page petition asking the Supreme Court to hear the case. And this is the guy that dresses like Donald Trump, right?
Yes. He's like bad Donald Trump.
What does that mean? An oversized suit and a tie down to his ankles?
I think he does his hair like that.
He does the
too.
And an oversized suit and
And the tie down to his knees kind of thing.
Got it.
He says this really
like an adult diaper and a corset. What do you mean? What do you mean he dresses like Donald Trump?
He said that this relief will ensure that the election process is conducted in a manner consistent with the United States Constitution. Further, it would promote public confidence in the results of the elections. This stuff has already been ruled wrong, and we all have agreed that the Supreme Court, because they've already thrown out other cases regarding the election, that they won't even hear this case. I just love these. They're trying. When is he going to be disbarred? Anybody?
I was just going to ask. It's Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, all of these lawyers, this kangaroo court. I have no idea how these people still have a law license.